Okay. So guys, now we're going to our fourth video. So it's gonna be multiplying and factoring. Again, these lessons are for Algebra 1 Semester 2 to help you pass all the quizzes, to help you copy notes and for extra points and everything, guys. We are here for you. So please make sure that you pass all the classes and not let this virus interfere with our education. So let's go to now multiplying and factoring. That's the next one. It's about how to multiply and how to factor. So again, guys, if you know how to multiply and factor normal numbers, you can do the same thing for polynomials. So let's begin. The first one, we need to multiply variables that, we need to multiply variables that we have. So let's begin. We have 8x squared times 4x squared plus 4y to the power of 6. As you can see, we have the 8x squared is multiplied times what's inside this parentheses. How many terms we have? We have two terms, the first one and the second one. So let's begin. When we multiply the first, 8x squared times, yes, dear.
Roman Rubio?
Well,
Roman Rubio, do you know if he has algebra 1 or 2?
Roman?
Yeah.
I don't know, wow, I never heard this. Is he here?
Yeah. I'll check his binder.
Yeah.
See if
Yeah,
he
check
has
him, let me know.
Okay.
But let's see, give him both books if you
Both
like,
books.
in case
Okay.
we don't find him.
I got you.
I'll call him.
Okay.
So guys, let's continue. So we have 8x squared times 4x squared. So we need to multiply the first one times the first one and the first one times the second one. Guys, as you know, you can show up here to school to grab some work or just to hand in your work only Tuesdays or Fridays. So, I'm sorry, let's go back to learning now. So, let's begin. So we have 8x squared times 4x squared, right? So how do we multiply? Because they have the same variable, all you need to do is add the exponents. So, of course, and the numbers you multiply. So 8 times 4, it's going to be 32. And x squared times x squared, we add the exponents, so it's going to be x to the power 4. And the same thing here. So now in this case, 8x squared times 4y to the power of 6. 8 times 4, it's going to be 32. And x squared times y to the power of 6, in this case, we don't add the exponents because they don't have the same variable. So everything stays the same. So x squared stays the same, and y to the power of 6 stays the same. Okay, if you were here, I would have asked, do you have any questions? But that's why I'm going to do more examples and examples. So hopefully you'll get it eventually, okay? Of course, it's easy. As you can see, it's not that hard. Just focus. Math is all about understanding. So find the GCF of the terms of the polynomial 24x to the power of 5 plus 32x cubed minus 12x. All you need to do is find the GCF, which is the greatest common factor. Of course, guys, the greatest common factor is when the first between the numbers, then between the variables. So we have, and between the numbers, we have the 24, the 32, and the 12. We always choose the greatest common factor. We always choose the smallest number, which is 12. 12 divided by 12, yes. 32 divided by 12, no. So we choose a number that's less than 12. Let's take, for example, 6. 12 divides by 6. 32 doesn't divide by 6. So we choose a smaller number, which is 4. 12 divides by 4. 32 divides by 4. And the 24 divides by 4. So that's the greatest common factor between the numbers. Now, between the variables, you always choose the variable with the lowest exponent. The variable with the lowest exponent is the last one x to the power of 1, which is x. So the answer would be 4x. This will be the greatest common factor. 4x. And here we have another multiplication. So in this case we have 2n times n squared plus 3n plus 4. The same thing, guys. We multiply the first one times the first one, the first one times the second, and the first times the third. 3 multiplications. Let's begin. We have 2n times n squared. 2n, the exponent here of course is 1. As we said, we add the exponent. So 1 plus 2 is 3, so it's going to be 2n cubed. Same thing here, it's 1 in this case. 2 times 3 is going to be 6, and n times n, it's going to be n squared. Why n squared? Because 1 plus 1 is 2. And the last one, it's 2n times 4, which is going to be 8n. The n doesn't change because we don't have any n's here. So the 1, the exponent stays the same. So the answer, as you can see in this case, is the second one. Now let's go to the next one. We said the second. Factor the polynomial. Now in this case we need to factor. So as you can see, this subject is about factoring and multiplying. Of course, to factor first, we need to find the GCF. So we have 24W8 plus 30W6. So first we need to find the greatest common factor between 24 and 30. As we said, the easiest way for you to find is by choosing the smallest number, which is 24 in this case. 24 divides by 24, yes. 30 doesn't divide by 24. So less than 24, we choose 12, a factor of 24. 24 divides by 12, yes. 30 doesn't divide by 12. So then we choose the 8, which also the 30 doesn't divide. After that, we choose what? The 6, and the 6 will be, because 24 divides by 6, and the 30 divides by 6. And as we said, for the variables, we choose always the variable with the smallest exponent, which is 6. Now you ask yourself, 6w to the power of 6 times how much gives you 24w to the power of 8? Of course, it's going to be 4w squared. Why? Because 4 times 6 is 24, and 6 plus 2 is 8. We add the exponents when we multiply, remember. Plus, you ask yourself, 6 times how much gives you 30? It's 5. And w to the power of 6 times how much gives you w to the power of 6? Nothing. So 5 times 6w to the power of 6 is 30w to the power of 6. So the answer would be, in this case, it's the third one. Let's go for the next one. Another question. We need to find the GCF, the greatest common factor of the polynomial 44x to the power of 5 plus 16x cubed. Again, guys, as we said, the greatest common factor, we choose the smallest number, the 16. 44 divides by 16, no, right? So we go less than 16, 8. 44 divides by 8, no, but 16 divides by 8. After 16, we choose the 4, which is the 4. 16 divides by 4, and 44 divides by 4. X to the power of 5 and x to the power of 3, we always choose the variable with the lowest exponent, which is x cubed. And we open parentheses times 11x squared plus 4. Again, why 11? Because 11 times 4 is 44. Y squared? Because 2 plus 3 is how much? 5. And 4 times 4 is 16. So the answer is, I'm sorry, I factored the expression. All he wanted is the greatest common factor, which is 4x cubed, and this is the answer. But in case the question was factor the following, so you need to do the factoring by putting the phrase or the expression in parentheses. So let's go to the next one. Factor the polynomial. So here we have factoring, so let's do it. We have 3x cubed minus 12x squared plus 27x. Guys, It's easy, we choose the smallest one, in this case it's the 3, 3 divides by 3, 12 divides by 3, and 27 divides by 3, so 3 is the greatest common factor, which is 3. Between the variables, we always choose the variable with the lowest exponent, which is in this case is x to the power of 1. Now we open parentheses, 3x times how much gives you 3x cubed? It's x squared. 3x times how much gives you negative 12x cubed squared? It's going to be negative 4x. And 3x times how much gives you 27x? It's going to be 9. Of course, this is x to the power of 1, that's why 1 plus 1 is 2. And this will be your answer. Okay, let's go to the next one. I just chose randomly and chose. We have another factoring question. Let's solve it. I will solve this one as the last one, so please make sure that you understand it. We have 6x to the power of 5 minus 18x cubed plus 54x squared. The same thing, guys, we need to find the greatest common factor, the GCF. How do we find it? For the numbers, we choose the smallest number and we check. 6 divides by 6, yes. 18 divides by 6, yes. 54 divides by 6, and the answer is yes. So the greatest common factor between these three numbers is 6. Between the variables, we choose the variable with the lowest exponent. In this case, it's x squared. And we open the parentheses. So 6x squared times how much gives you 6x to the power of 5? Of course, it's going to be x cubed. Why? Because 3 plus 2 is 5. And the 6 we already have it. We don't have to put it here. So the same thing here. 6x squared times how much gives you negative 18x cubed? In this case, it's going to be negative 3x to the power of 1. And 6x squared times how much gives you 54x squared? And it's going to be plus 9. And that's the answer. As you can see, the third one is the answer. That's it for today, guys. Remember, if you have any questions, if you found out that you can't solve, please email it to me and we'll solve it together. Have a great day.